All right, let's just jump right in. Have you ever thought that you might be missing signs? Signs that angels are around you, right in your own home. It's not about not believing, right? It's more that maybe no one's ever pointed out what to actually look for. Well, that's what we're going to do today.
No, I'm serious. Just pause and think about that. What if, right now, as you're listening to this, there's an angel in the room with you? It's a huge thought, I know, but it's maybe not as crazy as it sounds. Let me show you why.
You know, when we think of angels, our minds usually go straight to Hollywood, right? We're talking big, flashy entrances, glowing lights, massive wings, the whole 9 yards. But what's so wild is how different that is from what we see in the Bible. Biblically, angels showed up in the most normal, everyday places, on a regular old road, in someone's kitchen, just hanging out by a tent. Super subtle, always present, and just part of life.
And this story about Abraham, it's the perfect example. I mean, we're talking about Abraham, a giant of the faith, and even he didn't realize he was talking to angels. They just looked like a few guys stopping by his tent, and he did what you do. He offered them a meal. So if a guy like Abraham could miss it at first, isn't it possible we're missing it too? Let's dig into what those hidden signs might be.
Okay, first up, sign number 1. This is something I bet a ton of you have experienced, but you probably just roll over and forget about it. I like to call it the nightly nudge.
So, does this ring a bell? You're sound asleep, no alarm, nothing. And then bam, it's 2 or 3 in the morning and your eyes are wide open. And you're not just kind of groggy, you are alert. The natural thing to do is just try to force yourself back to sleep, right? But what if? What if it's something more?
You know, throughout the Bible, when God or his messengers needed to get someone's full, undivided attention, nighttime was often when it happened. I mean, look at Elijah. An angel literally touched him to wake him up. So think about that. The next time you find yourself awake for no reason in the middle of the night, maybe before you just try to drift off, just listen. Try praying. You never know what you might hear when the world is finally quiet.
All right, on to sign number 2. This one isn't so much a physical nudge as it is an emotional one. We're going to call this one a sudden calm.
I want you to picture this. You're in the middle of a super stressful day. The bills are due, work is a nightmare, your brain is just spinning with worries. And then, out of the blue, this incredible wave of peace just washes over you. You didn't meditate, you didn't do a breathing exercise, it just showed up. And that feeling? It's not just random. The Bible actually has a name for it. The peace of God, which passeth all understanding. And that's the key, isn't it? It's a peace that makes absolutely no logical sense in that moment. I mean, just think about Mary. When the angel Gabriel appeared, what were the very first words out of his mouth? Fear not. He brought peace before he brought the world-changing news. That right there, that's a classic signature of an angelic visit.
Okay, sign number 3. And folks, this one is huge. This is that heart-in-your-throat moment, that split second of unbelievable protection. We're calling it the near miss. Come on, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That car that almost clips you on the highway, but somehow you swerve at the perfect millisecond? Or that weird gut feeling you get to not take your usual route home, and you can't explain why, but you listen. And later, you find out you dodged a massive accident. We've all been there.
And it's so easy to just write that off, isn't it? Wow, that was lucky. Or, phew, good reflexes. But is it? Is luck really a good enough answer for why you walked away from something that could have been, well, a whole lot worse? Well, the Bible gives us a much deeper, more powerful explanation. And this verse from Psalm 91, it's not just a pretty piece of poetry, it's basically a statement of heavenly policy. It says that angels have been given charge over you. That's an official assignment. And listen to how specific it is. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Think about that. It's not just about stopping giant disasters, it's about protecting you from even the small stumbles. So the next time you have one of those near-miss moments, try to see it differently. Maybe it wasn't just luck. Maybe it was exactly what the Bible says it is. Active, personal, angelic protection.
Okay, let's look at our last couple of signs together. And the reason we're grouping them is because they show how angels can work through really personal and sometimes totally unexpected ways.
Think about this. Have you ever been going through something tough, not telling anyone, and a total stranger, someone in line at the store or sitting next to you on a bus, says something to you, and their words are so perfectly aimed at what you're secretly struggling with that it just stops you in your tracks? It feels way too specific to just be a coincidence, you know?
And this is where it gets really interesting. The book of Hebrews tells us to be hospitable to strangers because some people have actually entertained angels without even realizing it. So that person who gave you that perfect word of encouragement at exactly the right time, yeah, they might have been more than just a kind stranger.
And other times, the message comes when you're not even awake. I'm talking about dreams. And look, we all have weird pizza dreams, right? That's not what this is. This is about those dreams that feel so vivid, so real, that you wake up and your heart is pounding. The details stick with you all day. Maybe it was a clear warning, or maybe you just felt this incredible sense of peace and comfort.
It's so easy to just brush those dreams aside. But in the Bible, dreams are a huge deal. I mean, think about this. A single dream delivered by an angel to Joseph is what saved baby Jesus' life. That's not a small thing. It's proof that sometimes the only time heaven can get a message through is when we're asleep and our minds are finally quiet enough to listen.
So where does that leave us? What are we supposed to do with all this? Really, it all comes down to learning to see the world a little differently, to see a reality that's actually been there the whole time.
So let's just recap real quick. You've got that nudge in the middle of the night to pray, that sudden peace that comes out of nowhere, that near miss that was way too close for comfort, that stranger who said exactly what you needed to hear, and that dream that felt more real than reality. Look, any one of these by itself, you could just call it a weird day. But when you start to see them all together, you realize it's not random. It's a pattern. It's communication. And really, this verse from Hebrews sums up the whole thing. It asks a question. Are not all angels, ministering spirits, sent to serve those who will inherit salvation? The answer, of course, is a massive, resounding yes. Their whole purpose, their entire job description, is to be ministering spirits sent to help us. That's not a fairy tale. That's their mission.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's pretty simple, actually. Angels aren't just characters in a story or something we put on Christmas cards. They're real, they are active, and they are sent to help you. Heaven is not silent, and God is not distant. The only real question is, are we listening?